Before we get to today's episode, I must make a few comments. Yes, it's episode 2 of this playthrough, and I regret to inform you all that I have already done goofed. You see, in Advance Wars 2, there is a new unit called the Neotank. To unlock this unit, you must search each mission for one specific property that will unlock a new mission when captured. Clear the new mission, and you unlock Neotanks for that country, and you can do it for all 4 countries. Now, on normal mode, they force you to unlock the Neotank for Orange Star, but on hard, you must capture the correct property as with the other countries, and, it's right here. In the mission I just cleared, for Orange Star, it's right here. The one with the obvious cheese strategy, and a property the player would not likely bother to capture? Yeah. Now, this isn't to say this is a huge loss. Neotanks are hardly even usable in the remaining Orange Star missions, and Orange Star will return in other missions, where they use pre-deployed forces and can't build Neotanks or prefer other units anyways. The reason I'm annoyed with this situation, and myself for not checking this out beforehand, is that the mission you unlock for Orange Star is the source of my favorite Advance Wars meme, and I was itching to point it out. Seriously, how did they get a battleship into that tiny lake? There's at least one of these in every Advance Wars, and even clones of Advance Wars. Well, at least I can show it to you here. And now we can move on with the rest of Orange Star. Well, now that we have that mess out of the way, it's time for the next 3 missions of Orange Star, and, I'm gonna level with you guys, they're all completely terrible. I did not remember any of these missions going into this, so when I found out how, kinda not good they really were, it wasn't fun. So we're going to try and get through this as painlessly as possible. Let's start off with the easiest of the 3 missions. This is a gimmick mission that has kind of gotten a level of infamy in the Advance Wars community, if my conversations on Discord are to be believed. So, it's an Andy mission, so he's going to do something really dumb. Black Hole has issued him a challenge because apparently they know about Rivals from the previous Advance Wars, how Andy really likes going at it with other COs in, I guess, mock battles. That's kind of what this is, even though it involves shooting down planes and stuff. C for all. Very obvious pun on free for all. So the gimmick of the mission is that you are only allowed to use air units and sea units. There are ports, there are airports, plenty of cities to get money from, but there are no bases and therefore no ground units. And this is a really bad part of the map to be focused on while this conversation is going on. There's just nothing of interest here. You could focus the map on, like, the island that the HQ is on, because it's actually really weird. The HQ for Orange Star is located on an island shaped like a star, and the Black Hole HQ is shaped like, well, the island with the Black Hole HQ is shaped like a, it's shaped like something. Is that exactly what you'd expected to hear, Hawk? This is Hawk, by the way. We saw him in the prologue. He is considered kind of a rival to Andy, because their powers are similar. Like, Andy obviously does mass repairs, but Hawk does both mass damage to his enemies and mass repairs to his units. So, kind of sort of related. The idea with Hawk is that all of his units are just better by default. They've all got plus 10 attack power. So that might be a little bit difficult to deal with. So, it's exactly as I said, airports and ports only, which is going to be very interesting. You only get 15,000 gold every turn. So let's go ahead and build a B-copter in this first turn. He's going to do the same. We can't really lure him in quite yet, but luckily we have enough money on turn 2 for a fighter. And he also has built a fighter on turn 2. So, I believe the AI is going to go for the B-copter first. That'll hopefully be what he does. There's basically no reason to build a bomber unless the enemy decides to build a C unit. And the only really good C unit here, well, subs and battleships deal with other C units, but there's basically no reason to build them. Like, I've talked in the past about how the Air Force is basically superior to the Navy in Advance Wars in every conceivable fashion. And Hawk has built a bomber even though I have no ground units or sea units yet. And they must have known that because they put the airport in the center of the map. Like, they knew what they were doing. Alright, should I go for the fighter first, or... Yeah, I should probably destroy the fighter. My B-copter might be enough to handle the other one. Yeah, definitely. We have enough for the regular power, but I don't think we'll really need it, unless Hawk decides to fire his, which he does. Oh, I kind of skipped through his CO power quote, but whatever. So he has 1 damage to all of my units, and he recovers 1 damage on all of his units, which is just the bomber, which hasn't even been damaged yet. So I'm going to do this just so I have... Like, this will make it certain that I can destroy the fighter in 1 turn. Both of my fighters can hit him. Oh, this might be trouble. Yeah, I needed a little bit of luck there, but that's okay. Like, I don't think waiting for Hyper Upgrade would have done me any favors. Hyper Upgrade, in case you are wondering, recovers 5 health instead of 2. Alright, so now we can... See, I'd really like to block off the airport now, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I can't get the B-copter out of the way. So... Like, this is obviously a route mission because you can't capture any HQ with no infantry. So this isn't really a mission that takes a while, but he's made it take just a little bit longer. Because now, there is a cruiser there. And cruisers, well, I would say they're basically a little bit difficult to destroy, even with just B-copters. It's possible to destroy them with, like, 2 B-copters, because cruisers aren't really as defensive as they are in Advanced Wars Dual Strike onwards. So, I've built a bomber to help out with that, and I've been blocking off these airports so I can better control where his air units come from. So now what we need to do is we can weaken him a little bit with this B-copter, and this isn't going to be enough to... Well, actually, it could be enough to destroy him. Actually, I should have used Hyper Repair first. At 8 HP, this might be enough to destroy the cruiser. And it is, so that actually did not take nearly as long as I thought it would. Like, I wouldn't say that was, like, the best mission of all time. It was basically a puzzle, kind of. I didn't even need the bomber, to be honest. But, unlike the Max versus Flak battle, it did not take as long. It was actually a relatively short battle. And naturally, it was so easy that it had to be a trap. What they're saying here is that Hawk has managed to lure Andy away from the area he was supposed to be guarding. And apparently it takes a while to click with Andy that if they lose the continent, then those little islands don't mean much. Nice one. Not like it's hard to trap Andy, really. I mean, you just need to lure him away with promises of new tools. Wow, it really does take a while for him to figure it out here. Drat and double drat. Ooh, not a reference I was expecting to make there. So yeah, that was a perfect score. Very, very easy. And I skipped over it rather quickly, but there appears to have been... Oh, wow, look up in the top right corner of the screen. There is a bug. I wonder if it's exclusive to that mission. Like, I think I know what happened there was they put, for the victory quote, they put a little marker that says, that basically means you're supposed to push a button to advance, but it does nothing there because it's just the victory quote. Doesn't mean anything in, that context. Alright, so you've got 2 more missions left. I'm going to take on what I believe to be the simpler of the 2, but it's really not. We've got another new enemy. This is Adder, along with Flak. He is basically a secondary lead for Totally Flacked, which means he kind of has, like, this legacy, if you will, even though in this game he's not really much of a character. I mean, like, none of the Black Hole COs are much in terms of character. They're not as silly as the people from the main 4 countries. But it seems Adder has a bit of a mean streak going. And in fact, his powers are snake-themed because they all deal with increasing his movement. Adder's got some of the lowest cost powers in the game, which makes them spammable, but they only really increase his movement, which is important. Movement boosts can be helpful, but other COs have movement boosts, like Max. And we're playing as Max in a Fog of War pre-deployed mission, and if you look closely, you will see that on this map there is no Black Hole HQ, which means you have to destroy all the enemies. Well then. Which I don't really like at all, and this map definitely very much favors indirects. That's what Nell is talking about here. But that's only the, that's really only the tip of the iceberg with this map's problems, because... yeah, I tried this out, and it's got a couple of weird quirks. Like, look at, do you see that road tile? It's actually not going into the city. It's nor is it going into the bridge. It's just going straight into the river. What are the cars going to do if they follow the road? They're going to drive right into the river. But then again, one of the maps on normal mode has a road going into a forest and another one going into a mountain. So yeah. Also, like, look at this area that you start in. No cities to repair your units at. It's all plains. So your rocket unit, for example, it can only move 2 tiles a turn until it gets to the bridge. Excuse me there. Now, most of your units are direct combat, and I know that the rocket is nerfed because it's max, but it's, you know, it's still a useful unit. Rockets can still be useful even with their range nerfed. Well, at any rate, I almost want to plant the rocket over here and have it fire at units as they pass over the road. Maybe that's actually the... yeah, that could be something you could try out. Alright. So we need to get our mechs onto these mountains in order to let us see things better, because these recons can only move 4 tiles. And as you can see that there are enemy anti-air forces waiting for us. Your B-copters really do not want to cross this river because they're going to run straight into the anti-airs if they do. Also got to be careful because I happen to know that there's an enemy rocket waiting to snipe at us. Can't say if the enemy has any B-copters. If we listen closely, we should hear it. So yeah, this is a map that can take a while because you've not only got mini cannons, you've got to keep your B-copters on your side of the river because there's anti-airs about. It's just another map that might take a while, but I don't think this is as bad as Mission 2. And you've also got to be wary of Adder's CO powers because his regular power is only 2 stars. Okay, so... I'm hoping I can reveal the enemy's units. This is a good spot to keep one of your mechs. It's also a good vantage point for attacking as well. I don't know what's out there, so I gotta send the recon forwards. So there's no indirects quite yet, but you never know. I don't think the enemy has any missiles. It would be very weird for them to have missiles. So as long as that anti-air is there, I can't really do much. So I guess I'm going to have to sit tight for another turn. It is a route map, so it doesn't really matter if the enemy gets all of those cities. They're eventually going to get them all. But I could just sit and wait at the choke point. Somewhere in there is a rocket. I don't really know where. Anything in there? No. Right. So as you see, the rocket is still useful. And even this artillery is pulling its weight. Can't see any enemy rockets. I don't know if there's a second anti-air either. Let's go ahead and move forward with our medium tank. Also, I think this mission is lagging a little bit. I don't really know how that could happen. Alright, so still nothing. I'm still wary of the rockets. They might be out there. There's definitely a medium tank out there. There's a rocket. I can see one there. I don't think the anti-air moved away, though, so we have to be a little bit careful with that. I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind at this point. I need to see what's out there, and what's out there is there are no rockets out there, so that's good. And I don't see any anti-airs either, so let's go forward with the beacopters. This area looks pretty flak-free. I mean, flak's not the enemy CO, but I meant the other meaning of the word flak. So weird to have a CO named flak. Because flak implies anti-air powers, which is why in Andy's adventure, his anti-air units have a boost. That's what I was going for. It's a pun, kinda. So yeah, this map is already proving to be kind of slow, because I'm turtling, but that's basically the safest way to play. So, interesting bit of trivia about Adder's powers. They are actually named differently in the European version of Advance Wars 2. His regular power is called... what was it? Let's see. In the US version, his powers are Side Slip and Sidewinder, but in Europe, they are... something... well, his super is called Snake Bite. I remember that. Because Adder, snakes, easy pun. And now you know why in one other ROM hack I did, I added Metal Gear Solid puns. Alright. So I don't think... oh, by the way, these mini cannons, they have a shorter range than black cannons and do less damage. But like the black cannon, they are also affected by forests, so you can still hide from them in forests. I'm going to use a regular power here because I want that mini cannon dead in a single turn. Max beacopters do 30 damage to him. So with the power, it just takes 3 simple hits. And that's a big boost to my movement as well. I mean, it's +1, but still. So we might as well move forward. I don't really think there's going to be anything dangerous coming my way. Let's see here. Oh, that rocket can shoot at these guys now, so I think I want to get them out of there. I've already got the recon for viewing their range. I guess the artillery can... I don't know what to do with the artillery. 2 range is just so small for something that can't move and fire in the same turn. I was actually thinking about why Advance Wars doesn't let you move and fire in the same turn. Is because you could mass produce a 2-3 range unit. Now, Fire Emblem lets archers move and fire in the same turn, but that's because they are normally just restricted to 2 range unless they have a longbow. Or some other bows that have been throughout the series. Alright, so, you know, normally there's a rocket on this side of the river by this point. It's actually very... oh, I think that's lag. So it is lagging. Not a huge amount of it, but still. So I'm going to move forward with my units here. I don't see any anti-airs quite yet, and I don't think they'd be in the forest, but let's get some vision going. Artilleries. Well, that's fine. He can still see these beacopters because forests don't hide air units. But that's alright. The rocket's basically chasing away these units. I think I've managed to distract these units because they're going after what they can see, and what they can see is mechs that they can shoot at. So they're trying to get to those instead of going after my regular units. Maybe that's why the rocket ended up where it did. Alright, so I don't think that... so far, this doesn't really seem like a terrible, awful map. I want to kind of roll back my comments from earlier. Like, so far, out of all the maps played, like, in the playthrough up to this point, we have had Oh, that's not good. I'm gonna get hit by the mini cannon now, but spotting the rocket was a good thing. Guess I'm going to have to take some mini cannon hits. They only do 3 damage, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. Yeah, this is okay. Alright, so far we have had, for Orange Star's campaign, an okay map. Actually, a pretty good map, I would say. Border Skirmish is alright. We have had a very slow and tedious map. That being the second mission. And we have had a map with a cheese strat, which is better than a long, tedious map, but still not that great a thing. We've had another map that I consider, and it's not terrible, but it's C for All is kind of silly, is what I'll say. And now we've got this, which is not long or awful, but it is kind of slow. Actually, it's bad if he shoots at the B-copters with the mini cannon, because there's no airport to repair them at. So yes, having this recon down here is actually a good thing, because it's a good scout for this lane right here, if you will. Right, so something's been shooting at us, and it looks like it's time to find out what. That's what it was. There's an artillery there this whole time. Oh, and there's another one there. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna get hit again. Yeah, gotta love how these cities are in range of the mini cannon, right? Well, I suppose it's gonna shoot at a B-copter again anyhow. Alright, I'm getting just a teensy bit careless here. I think the rocket is somewhere in this area because something had to shoot at the mech, right? Anyhow, we've got plenty of money for repairing things. I don't know if I mentioned this, but in Advance Wars 1, I think the pre-deployed maps just give you infinite money. Like, I may have talked about this already. But in Advance Wars 2, that's definitely not the case, so you do kind of have to pay attention to your money. Even in a pre-deployed map. Like, it's probably not going to be that huge of an issue, but it's worth a note, I would say. Alright, so we can actually, if we repair this rocket and stick it in here, we can actually fire at these units and they won't even be able to see it coming. Do we need our power right now? I don't think we really need a power right now. Medium tank's almost out of fuel. I should get that APC up here. What's it doing still sitting down there? Oh, I accidentally put the artillery out of range. Out of vision range, anyway. Is this close enough to see it? Yes. Question is, do we want to attack it? Well, I've misclicked, so it looks like I'm losing a unit. Might as well take advantage of the fact that I can't see any anti-airs down there. That sure is a lot of indirects. Like, Adder had the right idea bringing all of these indirects into the fight. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't really hate this mission at all. It's probably a little longer than it should be, but for hard mode, I think this is appropriate. So yes, actually playing through the mission did in fact change my opinion. But the fact that you are only allowed to route this, and you can't HQ capture to make it take a little bit less time. Like, route maps, they can be difficult to deal with if you're forced to really chase down the last couple of units. Alright. Put you there, and the rocket is going in for repairs, and then it's going to jump straight into this forest and go to town. I will... do I want to send the recon forward? I don't know. Well, I don't really see any anti-airs in a spot that would be dangerous, so might as well go right in and get ambushed by a really easy one to see coming. Only 37 damage against a rocket. Am I out of ammo? I am. I'm out of ammo. What a surprise. Like, you probably never thought you'd see a unit run out of ammo, but you did. Alright, so these units have got to sit tight at the cities to regain their health, because this is actually a bit of a long-winded map. Gotta watch out for that. And the good news is flying units can at least just seek out the APC. Oh, that's not good at all. I actually forgot about the infantry. Since your HQ is all the way over here, the infantry might just be able to walk all the way up there and capture it, but the rocket is in the way. The rocket's actually going to sit there and block them from capturing it, unless you were silly enough to try and destroy it. Like I almost was. But what we can do is just basically take out the infantry first, so they can't deliver a loss to you. Right, you go there. I will let this medium tank heal some more. And our super is now full. And I should probably get these B-copters really need their ammo back. I just never thought ammo would be an issue, but it looks like it is. Okay. Oh, an anti-air. I forgot it was there. I should have known it was there. I completely forgot. So that's not good. Like, Max's powers actually do not work against, they don't work on infantry units. So I've got several out-of-ammo B-copters. I don't want to use the super because it doesn't really make any sense to use it right now. And I'm running low on fuel, too. This is getting worse every time. Will this do a decent amount? They can't do anything with their machine guns. Of course not. And I'm gonna get shot by the artillery because I thought I could destroy it sooner. Whoops. It would be really bad if I... Jeez. Well, now I'm starting to make mistakes. And it would really, really be bad if I, like, lost right now because it's already taken a while. Maybe that is really a problem with this mission. If you take too long, then losing becomes more and more painful. But, yeah, I'm sure I can make it eventually. I don't want to move that artillery too close. We're 13 turns in. Or 14 turns, rather. It's going to be 14 when my turn comes up. Yes, please move out of that forest so I can shoot you. That probably sounded weird. Alright, now we've got our ammo back and we can start moving up there. As soon as I shoot out that anti-air, it is basically over for him. But I want to get the infantry first. And the good news is we can now heal up at this city, now that we've managed to capture it back. Oh, but there's still a rocket down there somewhere. Alright, our infantry problem is over with. And 2 more shots should be enough to... Let's see, I'm going to need to move in closer with a rocket. This area is pretty much secure, so it's time to get the APC over. It needs to get up there. Alright, time to spot that rocket. It's down there somewhere. Oh, it could be in the forest. If there's another anti-air there, I swear. I've already lost so many units that my rank has probably been tanking so far. Yeah, it's probably in the rocket, and I hear tank noises, so... Right there? Yeah, that's where it was. Get in there. Keep moving. Stay out of range. Maybe send this recon down here to spot that area. Boy, oh boy. Did I mention you have to destroy all the enemy units? There's another one down there? Wow. Okay. I'm looking forward to my A rank now. This is not going to be an S rank playthrough because look at how long some of these are. Alright. Fire, and I should be able to destroy it on the next turn. It's really a question of, can I destroy the anti-airs, and then can I, like, get rid of all their units with my air units. And I should really be moving that APC. Right. Where is it? That's where it is. It's an artillery. Wow, that's even more embarrassing, and I've lost yet another unit. See, that's the problem with Fog of War missions. You never know if you can move safely, which means it's going to take a lot longer. Well, hopefully the lenience of campaign mode will see me through and I will still have an S rank. I doubt it. And there's still one unit moving around in there. I see nothing but recons over that way. Might as well repair the artillery. Not gonna matter much. Alright, now the rocket has more ammo, so it can shoot more. I will take this artillery out of the picture, and we can... I think we can ignore that mini cannon completely. It's in a very inconsequential spot. Alright, it looks like I'm going to have to split up the Orange Star campaign into 3 videos. I was hoping to do it in 2, but some of these missions are very long, and some of them are not. Alright, so that's where the rest of them are. Max doesn't have enough range to get at those recons from that position. Yeah, I just don't really see why these missions needed to be so long. It really is evident that they must not have remembered what the design philosophy for Advance Wars 1 was, because in Advance Wars 1, the pre-deployed missions made it so that the maps don't take as long, and for a portable game, that's actually pretty important. Like, they have this big thing about not spending too much of the player's time on portable titles. And these powers at this point don't really mean much. But I think this is the last 2. You can actually see the unit count if you go to status. No, you can't see the unit count. Well, you can see how many they have and how many they've lost, so it's a good enough indicator, I would say. And now we have to hunt down the final units, because after destroying this recon, there's going to be only 1 unit left, and I don't know where it is. And I can't move around like that, because I could still end up spending fuel. Is this out of range? It is. Alright, boys, so where do you think the final unit could possibly be? Because now I have to go and search for... Oh, Never mind, it's there. That was going to take a lot... I thought that was going to take a lot longer. But it does cost me 1 additional turn. So this is going to be a 25-turn map. That's longer than some of the final missions of Advance Wars 1. But that's all of them. What were we doing again? Rescuing POWs? You can't even see them on the map. We'll get to Lash later. Yeah, he really shouldn't have. Next time, maybe wait until there's no fog. That's all I want to say. S rank, S rank, S rank. Oh, okay. 96 points. 25 turns and it was a 96 pointer. So yeah, they do expect you to take that amount of time. And lose that many units, too. Well, that was a bit long, but I think I will, like, cut it here, and then next time we'll take on the final 2 Orange Star missions. They're kind of interesting. See you later.